We are 27 minutes away from the first ball being bowled in the fifth and the final T20I to be played in Ahmedabad. All to play for, because series is 2-1. India can't lose the series, but they can lose the opportunity of winning a series, and that would be catastrophic considering they have not lost a single series since Suryakumar Yadav has taken over. They're not going to lose here, but not to be able to win a series is also a very big deal in the Indian T20 setup. There are a lot of news that are coming out from Ahmedabad in terms of India's 11. I'll dwell on that a little later. That will be a focus of discussion as well. But before I do that, I heard Ravi Shastri say in the opening statement, from a clear skies Ahmedabad. Was it a dig at the capital of the state from where we are going live?
Of course.
Lucknow.
Of course. Anything less than 400 or 300 is a celebration in India. We celebrated.
No, but did he have to say that word? Clear skies in rubbing salt into the wounds of Rajiv Shukla and co.
I don't think Ahmedabad's AQI is equivalent to Switzerland or New Zealand's AQI.
No, Ahmedabad is 300 plus.
Oh boy.
That is another matter, but I'm asking, why did he have to say that?
Just to create a mahal for the heck of it. I mean, we in India just don't know what to celebrate, what is right, what is factual. We don't know. So we celebrate when we go to very poor from severe. That itself calls for celebration in this part of the woods. But as we know, 2 months of winter, there used to be a time when I used to like 3-4 months at least in Delhi. Now even that has also gotten congested to only 1-2 months of decent living in this part of the woods. It is hellacious. I mean, it is hellacious. It is, I mean, no sane population.
Not helluva, hellacious.
Hellacious. I mean, no sane population on this planet can live in these kind of conditions. But that's what we as a nation, we as a population, we like to rub salt into everybody's wounds. That's what we do. That's the thing. So yeah, Ahmedabad or Lucknow, wherever you go, Delhi, wherever you go, anywhere in northern India, it's a mess. So less about it.
I'm checking the AQI. Live AQI is saying 119.
In Ahmedabad? Okay, that's moderate.
No, poor.
That's poor, okay. Below 100, 50 to 100 is moderate.
Yeah, 0 to 50 I think is good. 50 to 100 is moderate. 100 to 200 poor. 200 to 300 very poor.
And 300 plus is severe.
Yeah.
Or dangerous.
I think hazardous is again 500.
500 plus. That too.
I think that's how it was. 0 to 50, 50 to 100 and then you move in 100.
We top the charts there also. 500 AQI. Delhi tops there as well.
Yeah,
I mean, we go to 600, 700 on a consistent basis.
We go 999 as well.
Of course. That time it goes off the charts. Now,
Chris Gale's jersey number?
Chris Gale's jersey number is
he would
333.
999 I think, no?
333, 1/3.
333.
1/3. Because he hit 333 against Sri Lanka in a test match.
Why do I remember vaguely him wearing 999?
999, no. 333, as far as I know.
Okay.
Gale 333. Yeah, so you top the charts even there, and here even AQI data can also be manipulated.
I don't know about manipulation, but definitely interpretation is being worked on as to how you interpret.
No, it's not our job to lecture them on AQI, what it is. You have various different platforms on our network only. So I'll leave the AQI to the AQI expert. But coming back to cricket, I think quite nasty of Ravi Shastri to actually take pot shots at Lucknow. Not that Lucknow covered itself in glory, that day with the kind of AQI that was present there. So clearly no match could have happened. So he just reminded everyone at the toss that, listen, Lucknow may have had poor AQI, but here in Ahmedabad we are fine. However, you're not actually technically, as you just pointed out, it's above 100, which is also dangerous. Actually, they say anywhere over 45, 50, you should not have any outdoor activity. So 120, which is amazing by Indian standards.
First world nations, no?
No, 45, it's not about first world. Above 45, it's injurious to your health, whichever nation you might be in. That's what doctors say. What your benchmarks are different. Doctors say that over 45, you should not. Anyway, that's a different debate. We're going to get back into cricket, our area of focus. And the toss has happened. There are a few changes. The biggest change, of course, will be on top there. You will see a certain Sanju Samson. At least his name is that as an opener. We don't know whether he'll open or not. That is something I'll get to. Washington Sundar comes in. That's a bit of a surprise because he's not played so far. So what does that tell you?
I mean, GT, home turf.
He's coming in for Akshar Patel.
Yeah, Akshar is ruled out of the series because he's ill. Na?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he just comes in for that. That's
he comes in for that. Yep. And because of that, see, Sundar, home conditions, home franchisee, GT, Ahmedabad.
Home to Akshar's home also.
Yeah, but Akshar doesn't play for the franchisee.
He's anyway ruled out.
So what is your home? IPL is your home or which state you come from is your home? Yeah, make up your mind.
IPL.
Delhi is Virat Kohli's home or Bangalore is his home?
Bengaluru. He loves Bengaluru
Then
more
why
than
did you
Delhi.
go and cover when he was playing at home in Ranji Trophy? Why did you go and cover it?
We had to.
Now comes home. Why did you run all the stories?
For the chole kulche.
Whatever.
See, he loves Bengaluru more than Delhi. Akshar is more of a Delhi guy than a Ahmedabad guy.
No,
Washington
don't
Sundar
speak-
is GT.
Don't speak for Akshar. I'm sure if you ask him, he loves.
He's Indian.
No, he loves Gujarat.
Yeah, he does. So, in that way, when you look at it, Washington Sundar just for the conditions and because Akshar is not in. That's the only reason he's in.
Okay, now Jasprit Bumrah is back. That's the other big story that's coming in from the playing 11, which is great news because he had left 2 T20Is ago for a personal emergency. He joined back last game. He was ready to play the game in Lucknow. The game couldn't happen. That's another thing. But he's in the playing 11. Also remember, this is a very important T20I considering tomorrow you're going to have the selection of the Indian team, the squad for the New Zealand series, as well as the T20 World Cup squad is going to be announced. So that brings me to the hottest topic that everyone would be discussing now, and that is Shubman Gill's name. You will see eliminated from this playing 11, and instead of Shubman Gill, you have a certain Sanju Samson who's opening for India.
Yeah. It's
What's happening?
I mean, see, the BCCI have given that Shubman Gill had sustained an impact injury to his right foot while batting in the nets on 16 December. After consulting a specialist and getting treatment, he's improving, but was unavailable for selection. So another good opportunity for Sanju Samson. What shouldn't have been broken is now by some act of providence gotten back. I mean, Abhishek, Sanju, did they do anything wrong for them?
They were getting you 200 plus scores on a consistent basis. That's not happened since the time, or not happened as often as it used to happen. There's numbers to prove that. Now your average totals reduced since the time you tweaked your opening partnership. From a time you were looking at 195, 200 being the average you were managing, now that's come down to 175. So there is proof of what the forced change has resulted in. Today, again, does that change the script too much? Not really. I'm just happy that Sanju Samson gets a look in. Also at the preferred position. That's something that has not happened even in bilateral series with him. We've seen him go up and down. Today, hopefully he stays right up and isn't pushed down the order. And that's my only expectation from him. There will be a lot of chaos. There will be a lot of... there will be a good amount of clamour that... runs from Sanju Samson's bat will lead to. It will be good clamour in a way because you want there to be pressure on those, and nobody in the 11 should feel because of there being a C or a VC right against their name be assured of a place in the 11, and there is always good that there's pressure on them. Shubman Gill, runs have deserted him in the T20 format of late, and I would love it if there is Sanju Samson, who rightly should have been in the 11, goes ahead and gets runs today. I hope this is not a scenario where you had again Sanju Samson. Everyone thought Asia Cup final, he's playing. India needed someone to bail them out. Eventually it was Tilak, but Sanju as the senior member of the team, much more senior he is than Tilak Verma, should have then been able to take the Indian team home, but wasn't to be the case. Today, on the eve of the selection meeting, this is a good platform to be making the noise.
I mean, it's kind of harsh that you say that the numbers have dropped down. I mean, sure, the conditions that Gill has encountered, it's been extreme. Asia Cup, The conditions were very sluggish. Australia, it was spicy, not that sluggish. Here, I don't think the wickets have been too flat or like a shirt front. Honestly, it hasn't been.
But Siddharth, 3 series. I will expect batters to negotiate with.
But 3
At some
contrasting conditions.
At some point, then what are we waiting for? If you're telling me a batter can't adjust to sluggish conditions,
But
if you're telling me spicy conditions batter cannot adjust to, am I waiting for the word, or should I be using the word that people use for him so often? I don't think he's that batter.
But even Abhishek has been found out. Abhishek
got you a couple of very good knocks in the Asia Cup.
But then
Under pressure, Pakistan matches.
This, of course, but then again, look at the situation where Abhishek was going gung-ho. Even Gill in one game against Pakistan went gung-ho. Both went gung-ho. Even in the Brisbane game, Abhishek for the 5 overs that were available that he got there, both Abhishek and Gill
But
did
he
well.
has still, across these 2 series, Siddharth, managed to be India's top run getter in a few matches.
Agreed.
With Shubman Gill, that's not been the case. I got a 28 ball 28 the other day.
But the question isn't about Abhishek, it's about Sanju. All this clamour about Sanju, yes, in 2024 he was great. But then if you look at the last series prior to Gill's elevation, what was that? England. So far, that was what the numbers I was looking at. One game he had a partnership of 41, the other game he had a partnership of 15. I was just about to look at the other 3 matches that were going on at this time. The numbers for Sanju Samson weren't that great. Let's be very honest about it. Of course, not helped by the fact that you were pushed up and down,
exactly.
up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Sanju's feeling what KL Rahul used to feel. Up and down, up and down, up and down. So, see, if he does well, great. But then we know that Shubman will be the opener with Abhishek Sharma in the T20 World. So whatever he makes, again, it only rises up the temperature as far as the debate is concerned.
I'm not sure, because I have a feeling, I know that BCCI has sent out a release of why Shubman Gill is not playing today because he sustained an injury or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised that this is in that sense a smoke screen. Sorry for the lack of a better word. In the current AQI, I'm having to use that word, but that is exactly what I mean, because it's not unusual for Indian cricket to sugarcoat a decision to drop a player. I wouldn't be surprised that this has been a decision that the Indian team management has taken to see Sanju Samson play on top. I think they are open to giving him a few chances. I have a feeling that the management, which is also a bit under the pressure, and the selectors themselves would want to see all the players. So the fact that he did not or was not going to play the Lucknow game, as we all know, that game didn't happen, and the fact that Shubman is not playing here, I feel, again, there is nothing that I have picked up from any sources or whatever, but just sitting from the outside and having covered Indian cricket for a very long time, I wouldn't be surprised that this is actually a ploy for the Indian team to see how Sanju Samson goes, because I feel that the Indian team management is also kind of getting cold feet. You're not too far away from a T20 World Cup. The Shubman Gill experiment hasn't really worked. While the T20 team has done very well, that's one experiment that's not worked. And you do not want to go into the World Cup with a scenario where you're not 100% sure as to what is the team that you're going with. So I think that, and also because now where Shubman is, he's your vice captain, he's your ODI captain, he's your test captain, to have said that he's not playing or he's dropped and Sanju is playing, I think would have created massive eruption. Indian cricket doesn't like it. So I think they have softened the blow by putting this out, and that's just my gut feeling. As I repeat, a lot of time I share news when I know full-fledged what has happened behind closed doors. In this case, I'm not saying I know that, but it's just my gut feeling. I think no matter what would have happened, and I think if the conversation would have happened that if Shubman doesn't get runs in like 3 T20Is to begin with, there could be a chance that a Sanju Samson is given a go. And I think they are following up on that plan
I
right
want to
now.
know two things.
Just let me, I waited for all of you. So I think that's the one thing that they are going with. The only problem that I see with that happening is that if a Sanju Samson doesn't get runs, then it makes everyone's job easy to go back to Shubman Gill and makes the team management's job very easy, that okay, this is see, we were under pressure, lots of noise, bring Shubman, see, bring Sanju, see, we've got Sanju, runs haven't come. So everyone will then kind of back off and the team can play without pressure if Gill comes back. On the contrary, if Sanju goes on to score runs, my point is that I feel will definitely put pressure on Shubman Gill. I would not be surprised that if Sanju gets runs today, he might be given a few more games versus New Zealand to do that. My only issue would be that if Sanju does not get runs, I hope they carry on with their idea of giving him some chances and not be done with just one game, because had it been a long series, then he would have gotten more chances. But this is the final T20I of this series, then there's a big enough gap. Nobody will really remember what happens in the next T20I they play. So if you go with Gill, there won't be too much hangama. So this is one T20I, and I'm just looking at it from Sanju Samsung's point of view. It'll be a lot of pressure on a Sanju Samsung. It's going to be a make or break game for him. That's what I feel. I feel Shubman in that sense has been rested and not injured. And I'm not saying dropped as such, but rested or rotated, whichever way you look at it. I think he's been rotated for a Sanju Samsung for this game, because I think the team is not now 100% convinced with that is happening. But I just hope that in case Sanju doesn't get runs, may he be given 2-3 more opportunities. And if he also does not get runs, then you're happy to or free to go with whoever you want. I think it'll be too much of a coincidence that he was injured right at this time when there was a lot of clamor for him not to be there in the 11. And think of it from a Gautam Gambhir's point of view. Think of it from the selector's point of view. As much as Shubman may be a blue-eyed boy, which he is, and he should be, he's quite a talented guy, and he is going to be a test captain for some time to come and your ODI captain. But in T20, you went with the idea, if it's not worked, now is the time to fix it. And there's no harm in realizing that you may have gone down a wrong path and correct it before the tournament starts, rather than go into a tournament with that untested thing and then pay the price. You wouldn't want to do that. You're playing at home, you're the defending champions, lots of pressure. I feel this is a step in that direction.
Two things that I want to know as you say that. One, this is then headline management from the BCCI as you see it, because there's no injury per se then, right? This is just headline management.
Again, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
so
again, if
this
is true,
I have a feeling that
would it be right to then interpret out of this that the BCCI is just trying to manage the headlines for now? They just want to suppress the noise, not on the eve, not going into the end of the year or looking at the start of a new year with such huge amount of noise, not to forget, of course, the noise that comes out of a test series defeat as well. They don't want problems to get compounded. One. Two, will Shubman Gill then have to feign an injury for the next few weeks that he's not suffered?
No, see what happens is, now see, this is the last 2 games. Let's say if Lucknow also he would have played. 2 games would have happened, then you have a gap. But in 2 games you would have had some sort of a understanding. Na? Think of it from the team management's point of view. I think they also want, see, you understand that the coach is under pressure. You're under pressure in your test matches. Now, whatever the future holds for you, whether you're a selector, by the way, even selectors are under pressure, whether you're a coach, will all depend on India's T20I World Cup performance. Now, if you are Gautam Gambhir and you are Ajit Agarkar and you want a sustained, role to continue for some time, what would you want? For you, is it important to go with your blue-eyed boy or to go with a team that can, in that sense, safeguard your position?
But then there's a problem then. While I am...
First answer, what is it that you would...
No, of course, I need results and I would rather take some sort of corrective measure. But you knew Shubman Gill was not coming in with any guarantees. And this is where I think that the BCCI has erred big time. They had erred back then. I'm all in for corrective measures right now. This is exactly why you have, by the way, India's workload is the most amongst all teams going to the T20 World Cup, because that's the preparation that India wanted. So good. And you get the time to be able to see what you get out of the corrective measure as well. But then for a person who you knew wasn't a natural fit into the template of the team, would have then had to make changes, as you told us that meeting was had, and Surya was also big on the idea of welcoming a Shubman Gill into the side at the cost of a Yashasvi Jaiswal. Okay, sounded very nice, sounded in the interest of the team, good team spirit. But then the decision to make him the vice captain, knowing that there are others in the line and others who have greater game time for the Indian team in the T20I setup, why did you not go back? There is, by the way, a Hardik Pandya as well. A Hardik Pandya who was unceremoniously being removed as the captain of the side. If there is a U-turn that can be made in the case of Gill, in terms of just looking out for better leaders and ensuring that you have a robust team going into the World Cup, then why was the Hardik Pandya or anyone else perhaps entrusted with the vice captaincy? And why Shubman Gill when you weren't even sure that he'd be guaranteeing success to begin with?
That's what I'm saying. No, so when he was given that, everyone, I mean, we sitting here said that may not be the right call, but you give benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm trying to say. No harm in going with one idea. And again, as I said, Shubman does look like a promising player. He had a great IPL as well. And you went with that idea. I was not convinced with that idea. Maybe you were not convinced. Maybe Siddharth was on, but maybe they were. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying. Sometimes you believe in a player. No, there are IPL franchises also. You and I keep saying why this is happening. But Aryan Parag sometimes we question. But the franchise believes in it. So maybe they believe. So that I have no issues in your first belief. I would have had greater issues when somebody goes with an idea, which is, see, they're in a position to make that decision, you and I are not. We may disagree, they took a call, fine, they did. But once that idea doesn't work, if they're ready to course correct, I appreciate that. The problem would have been that had they gone with that idea, and then you realize all throughout this that it's not working, and you play the World Cup, and you, let's say, the World Cup doesn't come out the way you want to. Anyway, anything less than a title will be looked at as a failure. Then you and I will sit here and then have this conversation. No? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I put that question back to you. If you're an Ajit Agarkar or you're a Gautam Gambhir and you both were convinced of that idea that maybe the Shubman Gill thing can work, you went with it. No problem, yeah. We're just looking at a glass half full, glass half empty.
The only thing that
it's not that you've got a player who's never played any sort of cricket randomly and paratrooped him. No, it wasn't.
Well, nothing about the
it's not a
headline
Noel
management.
David coming in suddenly when nobody knows.
Well, nothing about the headline management surprises me, even if this is exactly what the BCCI are trying to do right now. But then it goes against the character, I think, of the two most important people that we're talking about right now, in an Ajit and a Gambhir who's willing to take up all questions, show up after a series defeat in Test cricket, and an Ajit who has made it a habit of giving us clarity, which will be the case tomorrow as well.
Yes, but Harshit,
then what stops you right now?
There is, see, I am sure the BCCI, I feel, and I can share with you, I think the last press conference that happened, that Gautam Gambhir conducted, and this is not speculation, this I'm telling you from what I know, didn't go down too well with the BCCI, because as you know, again, I'm not doubting Gambhir's intent. He's outspoken, he's unfiltered, he said it. But at that time, that came under criticism because people said this was not the right time to have said the kind of things that you did. And sometimes you had to be diplomatic. We discussed it here, right? And that is something that now I'm telling you with knowledge that is something that didn't go down well with the BCCI as well. So there was a bit of a huddle. There was this conversation that how do we, the message, see, winning and losing is fine. When winning and losing is not happen, you take cricketing decisions. But when your image is also suffering because of certain things that may have been said, so you need to do damage control. Now, like every organization does, right? Maybe the situation isn't as bad as it was made out to be because of a press conference. So what do? Fix that area and put it. So this conversation was happened. I think I know this for a fact that BCCI got into huddle, and there were a few people also that went over. I think this conversation was had with the coach as well as to how better to communicate what we are feeling rather than antagonizing people. Sure, you've lost, which Indian team has lost before as well. But you could have conveyed things in a better way that wouldn't have antagonized, let's say, the press, the fans, everyone. But the way this was done, everyone. So now I'm coming back to that point. So within the BCCI, there's a realization that it's not the right image of Indian cricket that's going out at the moment. We need to fix it, right? And so maybe that's why now you've had a scenario where the press conference is also maybe happening. See, the press conference used to happen for selection, and then you've had a few selections where press conferences didn't happen. The fact that they have now again decided to have a press conference after a few selection we did, maybe to clear certain things, maybe the reason why Ajit Agarkar is coming out to speak in a press conference, because his press conferences have been far more clear and controlled and have, kind of, put water over fire in certain situation. Yeah, I mean, there can be no press conference where there'll be no questions. You and I will also have doubts, but at least it has been far more clarity giving than some other press conference. Maybe that's why it's happening. And I think in a scenario like this, you don't want another storm to hit the ceiling. And so I think if you had just said that, oh, he's being dropped, it just, and again, you have to safeguard the image of the person that there is. And I see no doubt in that. He is your test captain at the moment. How do you forget that? He is your ODI captain at the moment. How do you forget that? The same would happen if you remember. That same courtesy was extended to other senior players like a Rohit or a Virat. Seldom did you ever say these players are dropped, even in their careers. A lot of other players you would say that I've dropped or whatever. You would be very reluctant to say about certain players that they are. Even when you had to rotate them, you have to be mindful. So I have now going back to this, I think I have a gut feeling that they're doing. But in all of this, it makes me happy. What makes me happy is at least there is a realization where they know that we need to course correct. Or rather than being stubborn, which has happened in the past in Indian cricket, being stubborn saying, no, we have made this call, doesn't matter. What is that? Outside noise. Or the media is saying, fans are saying, we don't care. We believe in XYZ. He will continue to play. Sometimes that backfires. So if you have at least agreed to course correct, which I think this is, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
It's a fire that they started, now they want to put it out themselves.
Yeah, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Hypothetically, if you started a fire, what do you want to do? You wouldn't want to rage it on. Nah? Yeah. You would want to put it out. That's more sensible than letting it rage on, saying, I started it, but now it's on my ego, and now I will not stop it. Well, I will not accept.
Basically, with only 50 days to go, they have decided to course correct.
But I'm saying that is better than not course correct at all. I have known Indian cricket in the past where they have refused to course correct. Yeah. Because they have said, who are you to tell us? Who are the fans to tell us? Who is the media to tell us? We will not course correct. We know what is best. We go. That is a far more dangerous situation than somewhere where you don't even admit it, but you're doing it. It's better. I'm saying it's clear. See, for all you know, again I'm saying a lot will depend on Sanju Samson. I don't know whether he gets only 1 game, 2, 3 games or whatever. But for the sanity of the team and the sanity of Indian ecosystem, if Sanju scores runs, then great, you have a clear picture. If he does not, if you go back to Gill, at least Gill also won't play with that pressure, that I'm keeping someone who's in form. Then even he goes with that pressure. Sanju also in a better state of mind. Indian fans also in a better state of mind that no, you went with Sanju also, gave him that position. It didn't come. I don't know how fair or unfair it is. It's too early for us to judge because we don't know how many games he gets. All these questions I can't answer now. But my point is, if my hunch is correct, if they have indeed said that, okay, we also need to see this Sanju Samson option because we're not 100% with Gill, I see nothing wrong with it. I'd rather have this than, being stuck in saying, no, let's carry on the way it is.
Well, it is unfair on all parties when you look at this particular juncture. Was there a need to earlier do this experiment? Now is there a need to course correct? I mean, I think in the BCCI and everybody have got their timing wrong. Honestly. I mean, see, you did this in the 2024 T20 World Cup. By sheer luck it worked. Here also you are expecting something.
It didn't work actually throughout that World Cup till the finals.
It worked on the day it was expected to work. Yeah. But then
Which also you weren't very happy with that knock in the final, were you?
No, I was the only one who called it out saying, judge him after the final. There were many who didn't agree with the knock.
But you judged the final also.
Of course I did.
And you rated it?
I mean, India won, 11-year jinx ended. But I added that there were dollops of luck involved. You needed it. And it's not negative.
Yeah, see, again, you won the 2024 World Cup, but I think the whole scenario and what you were trying to do with Virat, asking him to play the way he did, it wasn't really working out for you. I think you won it primarily because one, Rohit Sharma was in good form. Your rest of the middle order stepped up on occasions. One occasion Pant, one occasion Akshar, one occasion Dubey. Somebody or the other stepped up with some crucial knocks. Virat in the final. And you had your bowlers who were just stand out. Jasprit Bumrah next level. Hardik also chipping in. Your spinners doing the job. So I think it covered up for that uncertain sort of a opening partnership that you went with. But
you won it.
You won it, exactly.
And it is a similar kind of a
Nothing
build-up
succeeds like success. So.
And it's a similar kind of a build-up that you're looking at.
Yeah.
2024.
But what you're trying to do is now change that. Rather than go into the World Cup with that thing, might as well try a few different things now. No harm, it'll give you clarity either ways. Whichever way you go. With Gill, possibly with a Sanju, I don't know. But at least clarity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ajib Agarkar is like saying, this T20 team is khichdi in the making. Now Sanju and Jitesh both are playing. Kuldeep dropped again. Will Washi bowl? Again, see, I had said this 2 years back. That's why I'm getting a feeling of deja vu all over again. Yet at that time, your khichdi worked. This time, I don't know if the khichdi.
But this is not really that khichdi. I'll tell you why. Because you are typically playing the team that you were playing. You were not playing both Kuldeep and Varun in this series.
Yeah.
So there is nothing amiss. Varun is playing. Now you could say that because of Akshar Kuldeep, but then he's not like for like.
Did the two of them not play together in Dharamshala?
Who? Varun and Kuldeep. Yes, they did. In Dharamshala. Kuldeep bowled only 2 overs.
Yeah.
Varun got the majority of the wickets.
No, but that game you got a Harshit in, no? So India is getting their
Arshdeep got you the wickets. Harshit got you the wickets.
Yeah, Bumrah didn't play.
So
Bumrah had gone.
Yeah, exactly. So what they are doing is, you look at their batting. If you look at India's scorecard, they're not going to allow batting not till number 8. No, you see India's 11.
8 is Washi today.
Exactly my point. Yeah. So the only way they can play. So that's why I don't agree with Mr. Ajib
Agarkar,
because they are changing it because of the balance. Now Akshar is injured.
Yeah.
You can only now to get your batting till number 8. How do you fit anybody else? No, current 11, sir. In any game you go, you will have to have batting till number 8. No, so how do they do it? Now Harshit goes out because a Bumrah comes in. So Washi can only replace Akshar. No, you can't have both Kuldeep and Varun play. Then Kuldeep will have to bat at number 8.
Yeah, that they won't be okay with.
Exactly my point. So it's not that much of a khichdi. They've, I'll give them the credit. Personnel have changed, but the philosophy remains the same. That we need batting till 8 and then our bowlers, and they are following that. And under the circumstances, this is the way you could only play. If a Bumrah is not playing, Harshit comes in, then you can make that change. And then have both Kuldeep and Varun.
Yeah.
Because they still regard Harshit as an all-rounder.
We've seen Harshit be your number 8.
He was England. As all-rounder.
Dubey was subbed out and Harshit
so if he's classified as all-rounder, then what was that? Concussion sub.
Yeah. Ashish Dar, Snicko to be relied. Remember Payne dismissal to Jadeja in 21 MCG test. Spike next to bats could be sound of batter spikes on shoe. Yeah. Payne felt he did not hit. I mean, Snicko, I think after the Ashes, if they make a faux pas.
Talking about the Ashes right now, he's referring to that.
Yes. 2 decisions.
Yeah.
And apparently England
back-to-back days.
Yeah, it got reinstated apparently, that review. They didn't lose a review apparently, England, because they tried to, that edge was there, but apparently I read somewhere that, the decision didn't go in England's favor, but they didn't lose the review. I think on appeal, they didn't lose the review, because Snicko themselves admitted, that there was
that was
Alex Carey.
Carey, yes.
They didn't lose the review. The review was
BBG Sports.
Yeah.
That's the Snicko operator.
Well, I think you are going to go the way of Hotspot then. Hotspot had to go because of certain limitations. Now I think Snicko will have to go because of certain limitations.
Or is this just down to the operators?
Everything is down to the operators.
Is this a glitch then? And you don't see the kind of error that you've seen in this Ashes, That's a howler.
It's a big howler. 2 howlers.
Howler. To say the least.
None of it would have helped England anyway. They're struggling.
Bye-bye England, Rakesh Bhushan, action to be taken on Agarkar and Gigi. They have started taking this team as their fiefdom. Oh my. Pushing Gill is crime, making nation lose when it was clear that circular object can't be put in square box. That's not
Round
a
pegs in
crime.
square holes is what he's trying to say. But it's not a crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a bit harsh. I think they... See, we may not agree, and you know, Rakesh, that we've disagreed with it. But I still give everyone benefit of the doubt. They believed in him, they're going. But yeah, if they were stubborn about it and carry on and say, we're not listening to you, if they do course correct, then fine.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes.
It would.
To err is human.
Yes. To
To
err
be
is
stubborn is...
inhuman.
Yes,
Is arrogance, idiocy, whatever you want to label it.
correct.
You just talk about
Stupidity.
England right now, right?
Correct. Okay. Silly Point says, why did poster boy Gill travel to Ahmedabad if he was already injured and was not supposed to play? I hope Surya fails again and it would give us a lot of memes and spice on SM. Not answering your second part, but your first part, you're absolutely right. That's why I'm trying to convey to you as viewers that maybe this is a decision that was taken prior, where I think they also want to keep that Sanju Samsung option open, because if that does better than experiment which has clearly not worked for them, then they might as well go into a World Cup with a more settled and a better option.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
But Gill travelled even when he was having an neck sprain to 4 different...
No, but that because he was trying to be fit to be playing.
Why
This
can't-
could be more.
This he must have gone to his hometown, in Siddharth's words.
Yeah.
He'll make Punjab boy also saying Ahmedabad.
GT guy, yaar. So how many GT guys are playing in this?
Okay, Anshu Mishra says, Nikhil sir, Crawley Pope must have connection with the Queen Elizabeth and Prince Harry. How someone can play 65 tests with 32 average? All-time great Steve Smith had an average of 64 after 63 tests, double than these two. I am a big fan of...
Shane Dyer's light. And Crawley Pope, although has struggled.
Pope,
yeah.
I agree. Pope started off very well. I was a big fan of him when I saw him play. You know, it was Ian Bell light and all that.
Don't mention that one innings that ruined everything that I stood for, is in terms of my credentials.
196 Hyderabad.
Yeah, I remember that. But no, but you know, like when he came, Ian Bell type, you know, like eye test past all that. But I agree with you. Quite, underwhelming.
He's
overall.
been the
Crawley
sacrificial
though-
lamb of this whole baseball approach, I think.
Correct, but then what stops him? No, Root said, "I'll adjust and play accordingly."
A
Pope
young
should have done
guy,
the same.
new kid on the block.
See,
and
England have a precedence to play these kind of guys for a very long time. Just ask a Johnny Bass too. 100 tests, 36 average.
Maverick guy though.
Only occasional
Maverick guy.
flashes in the pan.
Maverick guy.
I mean, Crawley though I've never, doesn't even pass the eye test. Nah, that's the thing. Though he's the highest run scorer, I think.
One of the...
Now, because others have. I think
because
Stokes
Root,
would have.
Stokes, Root, Stokes all have
Yeah.
done well. So, let's see. Tomorrow maybe...
Okay. 2 questions, final ones. Rohit says, Harshit, Usain Bolt jersey number was 963 when he played for Australian Football Club, which was his record-breaking time.
Thank you for the
Okay.
trip.
Priyanshu says, Nikhil sir is right. Why would somebody risk their job if, God forbid, India lose? Agarkar surely would be sacked and very tough for Gambhir. Also considering his test record. Yeah, exactly my point. That's why I think they have realized that, see, our job is on the line. We need to put our best foot forward. Yes, we believed in Gill, but if it's not working, let's, put that in cold storage for now and go with a better option. So, I think that's the idea.
Remember, it was just a few days back when Suryakumar Yadav said that he's not out of form, he's out of runs. That's what he said. In Gill's case, perhaps, also maybe easier because he's the vice captain. I think they realize that's out of form and out of runs also.
Yeah.
You can't say the same about Suryakumar Yadav. May actually be the case for him as well.
Yeah.
But you can't say that. The realization must be, because Shubman Gill, we speak of the eye test, you can take into consideration a couple of unlucky dismissals. But when you add everything together, the philosophy, adaptation, tempo, all of that, plus the eye test, plus the eventual result, none of this is making
Rather
sense.
than asking about the semantics and all of that, I am out of form but not out of runs. either Suryakumar Yadav doesn't know his English, because time immemorial, out of runs equals out of form.
No. I think see what he's talking, and it's a good distinction to make between a Gill and a Sky. I'll tell you what. In Sky's case, either people are saying, just look at all analysts from a player. Either they're saying, okay, no, yes, he's not getting, give him time. That's the ones who are talking in support.
One knock away.
In Gill's case, I'm just saying in Gill's case, either people are saying give him time, or are saying no, this doesn't work. In Sky's case, people are giving you solutions. In the sense, okay, this is how he should be playing, this is the shot he should not try, this is what he's like. So, which is to say that when he's playing, it doesn't look like see, when a player is out of form, you're not timing the ball, you're not connecting very well, you're not looking comfortable. In Sky's case, it doesn't seem like that. He ends up playing a stupid shot and he gets out. There's a difference to how Gill is looking and how Sky is looking. To that, I completely agree. That's not to say that Sky should not be asked questions. Of course, he should be if he doesn't get runs. But there is you can make out when you see a player that, oh, he can't buy a run. Vis-a-vis, hello, you need to change your approach. I don't think anyone is telling Gill to change his approach. People are saying, boss, he can't buy a run in T20I. Get somebody else, woefully out of form.
Take his dismissal in the Asia Cup final, for example. I doubt, dancing down the track doesn't manage to clear the infield. I doubt you will see many of Shubman Gill's dismissals in the IPL like that. No.
No, because he plays a very different way. He can play like
exactly
that.
My point.
No,
exactly my point.
See, now
and this is something everyone's seen now.
So in India, you have to play with the entire team is playing. You can't be the only one. Forget him. Virat had to change his approach, for the sake of the team, because team wanted to play a certain, which is fine. Team interests come first.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take your leave. Thank you very much for giving us company. We'll see you mid-innings as we always do, and then post-match too. So for the time being, from Siddharth, Harshit and I, take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. See you. Bye-bye.